I think the two-state solution paradigm is on its way out the door, and I track that. And in fact, we have an email newsletter that tracks the erosion of support amongst diplomats around the world and amongst academics, the erosion of support for the two-state solution, because they're just coming to terms with the bricks and mortar behind me. So what will happen then? That will be a negotiation of how will this new paradigm of a one-state solution, how will it take place? What will be the rights? And one possibility is that just as in the United States, you have places like Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, U.S. citizens who don't have the right to vote in the national elections. They can vote in their own municipalities and in their own small regions like Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, but they don't have a vote for President of the United States. That's happening in a Western democracy in America. A paradigm like that could be copied from America, the classic Western democratic state, to Israel. When people hear about the West Bank Jews, they conjure up this image of people living in tents or in little mobile homes, and that's just not the case. And they were sort of considered a sector of the population that can just be moved and brushed off and will establish a Palestinian state and they'll be transferred somewhere else. So right now we're standing, right behind us is a construction site of 350 homes here in the ancient biblical town of Beit El, which is today a flourishing modern town with over 1,300 families. So this construction site is not tents and mobile homes. This is a city urban construction site turning Beit El, and it's going to catapult it into approximately 1,700 families. So it's going to increase this by almost 25%. And what we're seeing here is not just in Beit El, it's happening in many places throughout the West Bank. Our report shows that this year we've crossed the 490,000 mark as of the end of 2021. And by next year, we'll be 500,000 Jews. That's less than 1 year away. So the construction is a momentum of construction, and we see that last year's growth compared to this year's growth, the growth rate has grown by about 0.5%.
Unfortunately, this government is no different than the previous government and continues to build in settlements like crazies. The only difference is that the new administration from the US is more interested in this issue and is trying to put pressure on Israel. And in some cases, especially in major issues, they manage to block destructive plans by Israel, but in other cases, they can't.